So I recently took apart my old Street Fighter 2 Arcade1Up cabinet to convert it to basically just run my PlayStation Classic as a dedicated machine. But one of the things I had a struggle with and was looking up while I was trying to figure this all out was how to switch the screen sizing using Retroarch and Project Eris through my PSClassic on the actual Arcade1Up screen. So in this video, I thought it would be very helpful to make a quick how-to to show you guys who are doing something similar to myself on how to properly scale the screen so it fits on your Arcade1Up monitor. Let's take a look. Perfect. So when you load up your PlayStation Classic, now of course this is only going to work if you actually have a modded PSClassic. So if you don't already have Project Eris and all the other stuff going on here, this is pretty much irrelevant. But for those of you who do have this and are using your Arcade1Up for the sort of stuff that I'm going to be using it for, which is just a dedicated PlayStation Classic machine, this will be really beneficial in order to get your screen settings going. Now, one thing to preface this with is I could not figure out how to get this screen scaling to work with the traditional booting up of the PlayStation Classic. So in other words, I was only able to get this to run through Retroarch. So if you go over here to Retroarch, you select this. One of the problems is if you run this monitor stock, basically without anything changed on the PlayStation Classic side of things, you get a really shrunken down image. So after a ton of trial and error over the past day or so, I figured out that if you go on this main menu here, you go to your settings, and then you go into video, and then if you change the actual scaling, I found that if you go into your aspect ratio, 30:17 was the perfect sizing for all of the games. Now again, the limitation to this is that this does not actually run through the standard booting up that we have with a modded PSClassic. You have to now select all your games through here, so I just went through both external and internal just to give you a quick demonstration. We can check, I guess it doesn't really matter. I'll just put like Tony Hawk and you can run it. Well, it's just booting up here. If you take a look, it's now full screen. Basically, there's no bordering or any sort of weird effects here. It looks like it's supposed to look on the actual screen. And again, if you want to use this route, if you just press select and start at the same time, you can use this as your impromptu menu through Retroarch moving forward. But this will allow you to play all your games in a proper screen sizing as opposed to having it all shrunken and warped.